Testing, testing.
There we go.
Don't, we're not going to turn them on.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to have a roll call, and Carol, why don't you just say who's here and who's not here for Charlotte?
Okay, Barbara, Randy, Michael Jones, Kim, Gretchen is not here, Justine is, Hope, Mr. Yeager, and Charlotte,
And you.
and me.
Okay, next item, I guess Ellen has resigned from the commission.
Yes.
She was here a long time on this commission. Charlotte, you want to say anything about that?
Well, we're always, so appreciative of the type of hard work that commissioners give to the community, actually. And I know that probably council want to thank her because they're always generous. I notice about recognizing people who served the community
say anything? Okay, we're good.
Just that she also served on the bike committee, and she was very active, and she was a very important member of the community, and she's found another organization that she wants to devote her time to now.
That's great.
And she's fine. She's more than healthy. I saw her this morning.
Okay, can we have the approval of the minutes of January 24, 2023? Is there a motion?
Can I just make a comment?
Sure.
Last meeting, when I talked about doing the honeybee presentation, and everybody sort of looked at me strangely, like, why are you telling me this? It's under the auspices of the Environmental Commission that I'm giving the working out this presentation. I'm going to give it at a lunch and learn in May at MAC and anywhere else. That was Charlotte's assignment for me over the winter. I assumed that because Charlotte gave it to me, she expected me to present it.
That's not changing the minutes, though, is it?
No, but I just want to clarify that, and that seems like the time to do it.
Do you have a date for that?
It's the May Lunch and Learn. I don't have the exact date yet, but I think they meet on Mondays. I'll clarify that.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next item is the planning board report. We do not have a meeting this evening. Last 2 weeks ago, we had La Mer presented they wanted to move their pool a little bit and add a porch, extend their porch for part of their restaurant. They were not changing any of the habitat at all. They weren't changing any of the grass. They weren't changing any of the landscaping. So that was the extent of that application. So we really didn't have a report for that. Mike, you want to have any comment on the budget items at all? Anything to report?
Yeah, no, I'd like to, first of all, we're a lot farther behind than usual with the budget. A lot more to do, and of course, that's because we just got our new CFO back, a new CFO last Monday. However, a couple of the items I want to address, really, it actually had to do with Craig Hurlis and putting an item in the budget for Craig. I talked with Lou Belasco about that, and Lou said, you don't need the budget money for Craig. If we want him here, and if we would like him, you know, I'm not sure what everybody's thinking, but if we'd like him 2 or 3 times a year to come here and report, or for us to communicate with him, a back and forth, that's what he's expected to do, what he's paid to do, so the city will cover that. It's not a problem. We don't need to have it in our budget. So that's just one item that will come out of there. The rest of the items, the only thing I can tell you is that the way the budget is started out, when Neil Young left, we were at a minus $100,000 situation. So there was not a surplus sitting there. We need to find $1,000 in expenses to cut. That may or may not be easily done. I can't tell you. I haven't been involved in any budget discussions yet, but I'm just saying that it's, you know, taking our budget from a 5,000 to we were at 25 or more than that is going to be difficult. But the good news is the Craig Hurlis side of that. We can get what we want there without having to spend our budget money. And I know we're going to talk today about grant money for, I hope, maybe some of the printing issues, which would save those areas. So it'll help me. I will eventually have a meeting with the finance guys when that time comes. My main concern when I go there are going to be the 2 committees that I work with and what their budgets are going to be for this year. So I'll be there to talk about, get us as much money as we need for these items. So.
Can I interrupt? So you said the budget will cut our budget from 5,000 to, what do you, where is-
Oh, no, I don't think our total budget will be cut. The question is how much more can we get? I'm saying that the city has $100,000 to find places to cut. I don't think it has to be this budget.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah.
okay.
Charlotte, you want to make a comment?
I honestly could not hear a whole lot of that, but I appreciate that Mike Yeager is, looking forward to trying to keep our budget items intact. We certainly appreciate that.
Mike, I don't, Mike,
That I'm so excited to think that Mike Yeager has been working, I guess, with the seawall shore stabilization. I mean, I read something in Star and Wave about it. It sounds wonderful. Do you want to talk about that, Mike?
Well, I can tell you that, for everybody or anybody that hasn't seen the new design yet, I believe there was press on it, was it? Yeah, in the Star Wave. The new design is being praised by everybody from the HPC to the Environmental Commission. It's an excellent design. It looks like it fits into what we want for Cape May, but we're a long way off. One thing's for sure is that the Army Corps will be doing a seawall, of course, we know, all the way down there at Wilmington and around the corner onto Beach, which is where we start our responsibility. Apparently, the Army Corps has looked at the design that Colliers came up with for us. They like it, and they have agreed to match the design. The only difference is going to be is that the Army Corps height is going to be 17 feet. They've determined, and they're staying with that. They determined that's necessary for that corner down there, and then we have to go to 15 feet. So the engineering Colliers thinks is not difficult as long as the Army Corps goes along with the same design, and it sounds like they're going to do that. Yeah, the design is simple. It's provides with a promenade the entire length of Beach Avenue, and it's high enough. It's going to meet our requirements. It will be there won't be any plants destroyed. There won't be any dunes destroyed. There will be more plantings done, of course, when the seawall is installed. The only problem I see right now is we don't even know the cost yet. It's going to be very expensive, but I think things will not go slowly. I think they're going to be moving along as fast as we can move them along to begin the process. It's one of the most important things we have in the city right now is protecting us from a storm surge. So that's all we have for right now.
okay,
Could I comment, please?
sure, go ahead.
Okay, so Mike Yeager, I really appreciate all the effort going into this project because it is, a protection for all of us. And having lived through 2 hurricanes in Florida, I know that FEMA and DEP and all the agencies that get involved, it's a very long process sometimes to recover for many,
Well, yes, it's my pleasure, of course. I'm excited about the project, and I thank you for that, reminding us that the Environmental Commission should be involved in that process. And I'm certain that that will be happening, and it'll be happening sooner than later.
Great, thank you.
Mike, do you know when they're gonna have the budget meetings, like when they're gonna have, like with department heads or whatever?
I don't. I really don't.
If you find out, because I guess we should be able to be represented when they have, it's like a 2-minute or a 5-minute meeting, whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll at least know what they disagreed with, or whether we kept the budget amount, or whatever.
I see no problem with that, yeah.
I mean,
No problem.
sometimes they're headstrong, and no matter what you do, you're not gonna get it, but at least we'll know why.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, Chris?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Can the design be found on the City of Cape May website, or for the Promenade Wall construction?
I'm trying to recall if I'm not sure it is on there. I know that trying to think where it is electronically. I thought it was one of the newspapers had photographs of it. If I had even thought of it, I've got a pretty involved, it's a very large, multi-page. You know what? I might have it in Chambers.
I wonder.
I might, before we leave, I'm just going to run upstairs to my my drawer up there. I may have brought it in here.
I got it somewhere, because I printed it out.
Yeah.
Where it was available somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it was the newspaper, but I did get a copy of it.
Okay. I'm interested, because.
Yeah. The brochure is really nice because it shows you a before and after. The photos are taken exactly at the same spot. You get a real idea of what's going to happen.
Do you know if the Corps has funding for its portion yet?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Do you know if the Corps has funding for its portion?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do, and I think it's not going to be, I don't know if it's 2023, but it'll probably be next year. They've been working on this themselves for quite a long time, and now we've changed their design, which was really just there wasn't, it was a bunker, yeah.
The new design is really quite nice.
Yeah,
Looks like a living wall
yeah.
from the street.
They're doing something similar in Delaware, I assume, too.
On,
By the Nature Center on Delaware?
Living
Oh.
shoreline.
yeah, that hasn't been discussed, at least as in my presence.
Last month, Gretchen gave quite an extensive presentation on it.
Gretchen?
So
Okay.
she's definitely the one to ask, but they're very different structures. One is a seawall and one is a living shoreline. They're made of different materials, using different technologies, installation methods, yeah.
That was Gretchen, this is Gretchen's, that one I do have, the seawall I don't.
Yeah, there's much less of a concern about storm surge from the harbor as there is from the ocean. So different designs.
Right, just at the county, that's a county road, so I'm sure the county is involved, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris, I'll send you any of the minutes that
Okay.
you missed.
I apologize, I've been lost, I lost the bubble on a lot of these items, so I'm trying to get back.
I understand. We're really glad to see you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Glad to be back.
So she'll
In case anybody didn't realize,
So,
Chris Haydock just walked in the door, which was nice.
Chris, the notes from last month, it says, for the living shoreline, Gretchen was speaking to the county and they're hoping for fall of 2023, winter of 2024. And the Army Corps is leading that with some review from U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was a long discussion.
Can I interrupt for a moment? I need to tell you something about the budget, and for some reason, my eye is bothering me, and I'm taking off.
It's the budget.
So, Charlotte reminded me that the membership for ANJAC for the commission members has not yet been paid, as far as she knows. I had a conversation from here to there with Mr. Vole, and he told me to find out the information and submit it. So I looked it up on my phone, and it's $400 a year for 7 members, and then $35 a year for all the extra. And I will put together a letter for Mr. Vole, and I'll send a copy to you, Mike. And I have to list all the people who are going to need membership,
Okay.
and the price, and the address to send it to, and then you and Mr. Vole can push it from there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that'll be our budget item. That's, sorry, that's a city issue. That's not our issue.
And the city will pay it.
Yeah, the city will pay.
They'll pay it.
The city always pays it. and
Yeah.
they haven't paid it yet, and
We'll get, you get the information for me, and we'll get it,
I'll put it all
get it in
organized,
there.
and then
It was on my list because I got an invoice
Yeah.
from,
you've got an invoice then.
from Anjek.
Well, if you give me the.
No, but it was for me as an individual. It wasn't for me as a member of the planning board, or at the environmental commission. We'll work it out,
All right, but I just,
But we need to do it soon so that when we apply for the grant application, our membership is already approved.
And I just noticed this morning, there's also a forum of some sort of meeting in the middle of March, and it's free for members, and so my question is, member, question mark, is that going to affect that as well?
I would think.
After the meeting, I'll go talk to Lou Belasco, and I'll ask him where we stand on our budget. If that's probably the best thing I can do.
Yeah, getting something like this paid that's not an issue.
I understand.
That's, yeah,
We'll follow through.
that's a daily routine thing.
Got it. Hope you feel better.
whatever it is.
Okay.
Are you okay to drive? Are you okay to drive?
Yeah, I just feel like I have something in my eye, so I need drops.
Okay, Gretchen's not here. I guess now we have the invasive species brochure.
Yeah, here is an update. For some reason, even though same printer, it did not print the same way, so part of it is upside down, but you'll get the gist. I did change the cover photo.
I have one.
The first page inside stayed the same. The middle panel on the inside, the photo of the Oriental Bittersweet was replaced per Gretchen's suggestion. There's a second photograph of the invasives going wild on the right panel on the inside, and then on the back, I removed the water conservation ordinance because I'm making a second brochure for that. Because there's actually a lot of information.
There's a
I
lot
figured
more,
it
yeah.
warrants its own. And so I put native plant recommendations. Please feel free to change those. I am not a plant expert. I pulled them from the Cape Atlantic Conservation organization in Egg Harbor. If you want them to be something else, please just tell me what you want them to be. I don't care. But I did select for the trees, shrubs, flowers, and grasses, the reason I select the ones that are there is because I was looking for species that are attractive to individuals that want kind of that like conventional vacation home type of yard, not the organized chaos of beautiful native gardens that we all love, but the lawn and hydrangea type of yards, like what would be compatible with that vision? So if there are any recommendations for native plants that meet those criteria, I think that's what we should include.
Mike, did she leave the water
I'm-
conservation ordinance? You took that off?
I moved it.
Are you going
yeah.
to do that on a separate?
Separate, yeah. Sorry, it's upside down.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I've been flipping.
It's weird, it's the same printer and the same file as the last month, but for some
that
reason
crazy?
it flipped it around. Charlotte's suggestion was at the bottom of the native plant recommendations page to put a telephone number or email address, like for, to consult with the Environmental Commission, please contact, or, if a homeowner, property owner would like for someone from the commission to come and give them plant recommendations, to include our information there, and I think that sounds like a great idea.
I'm sorry, that's at the bottom of the picture.
The back panel in the center.
Oh, right, sorry. I'm sorry, I have the old one that has the water.
Oh, yeah, that's the old one.
Yeah, I don't have the
Here,
new one.
here.
Okay. We're sharing here.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, great. Oh, here, okay. Native plant recommendations. All right.
Yeah, please edit them as you see fit. I just, not my area of expertise, so came up with 3 of each category.
Unfortunately, I guess we lost one of the more knowledgeable member in
Evelyn?
thank you,
Yeah.
Evelyn. She,
Well, I'm here, I know so.
she would be the one to, she would be the go-to.
We can ask her. I also.
I'm sure she would help.
Yes, she
Yeah,
will.
I did, Gretchen had recommended her old list for Auntie's favorites from decades ago, and I did Google it and find an article from like 25 years ago on her. So some of those recommendations I pulled from that article.
Right.
So for next meeting, let's put this thing to bed. Let's get
Yeah.
working on this thing, and it's gonna be finished up by next meeting, right? Does that make sense?
I would like that. I
Or
mean,
make some
this
comments,
one-
just email you the comments.
yeah, email me the comments. Looking at this one provided by West Cape May, the one thing that I really do like about it is the list of local suppliers of native plants. I think that is something I would like to incorporate.
Was this too, if you're looking for recommendations, these ones here are good.
Use so
I don't know if we need.
2 of them are on that
Okay, great.
Right.
already.
I didn't see that, but yeah.
So maybe just use, or you guys can tell me which ones you like, but the Eastern Red Cedar and Bee Balm are on that
Right.
Okay, great.
list already.
These are, I have, by the way, an entire box of these that Evelyn has gifted to the commission. I'm not taking them home, but they are right here, so, and they're really good reference.
Maybe when we should also discuss, so like this looks really pretty to me, but it's a lot of ink and it's also glossy, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
kind of antithetical to
It's just, we
What
could pick
we're
up some of this
doing.
and use it over here, but
Right.
since we have these,
So
Should be writing on birch bark.
maybe, I don't know. I don't want to sound defensive of this thing that I've made. So whatever suggestions anyone has, please just send them. I agree with Mike.
My
Let's
suggestion would
finish
be,
this
my
up.
suggestion would be, if you don't hear anything from anybody,
yeah, just go with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
you should
Okay.
trust your judgment. And we've all made some pretty good suggestions here about what it ought to be. So whatever it is, it's gonna be fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
Do we
Carla,
have
do you have
a,
any questions about us doing that?
do we have a budget for printing?
As a matter of fact, I'm absolutely thrilled that, I've noticed that ANJAC has offered us a grant opportunity. And in one of the particular, items, it says something about, how how could ANJAC help you afford a project? And under our commission goals, 2023, goal 6 says clearly, complete publishing the proposed educational materials that would support new invasive species ordinance. And bingo, you know, the council, you know, was supportive. Mike Yeager helped us to get that approved. We have all of that documentation to put into, some kind of, grant. And then, of course, we have this remarkable evidence as created by both Justine and Randy, letting the public know that we wish their cooperation. And I can see this being submitted and possibly being paid for by ANJAC, our, you know, our brochure. So that's, you know, it seems as if it's falling into our laps. And I don't know how anybody else in the commission feels, but I think this is a go-getter for the commission.
What's the deadline for submitting this to the NJAC?
April 17.
April 17th?
Yeah. And there are a number of other items that need to be included with the application. I believe it's like a budget breakdown, proposal, like price per item, stuff like that.
I printed off that thing.
So if nobody makes changes to this, I mean, this, we can certainly get a price, just go right over Inkwell
Yeah.
and get a number from them. At least we've got, you know, what our budget looks like for this. And then I guess what you're saying is they want to see the rest of our budget.
What, do you have the grant
Yeah,
application
it says
document?
There's 7 items there
Yeah.
that they need.
Yeah, completeness, budget, list of community partners, environmental commission benefit, impact of the community, replicability. So this is like a write-up, but we just
Yeah.
would need a cost proposal from Inkwell, so. Okay,
Some of my recommendations, I mean, we're already in partnership with the Nature Center, we're already in partnership with the Garden Club. Those are organizations are hefty weight in terms of endorsing this particular project. So, we've got a lot going on for us already.
Do we have any notion
No, I'm sorry.
about how many of these we would need? The brochures? 1,000? 2,000?
I guess it would depend on price, too.
Right.
yeah.
Maybe get quotes on,
Let's just see, we'll see what we can get for what the money we have.
I really don't have a clue. I mean, how many are in that box?
A whole lot.
Yeah, I doubt you would.
It's very heavy.
Was it our intention to send it out in a tax bill or a?
Yeah, wasn't it the intention that it should go to every household?
So,
That's the
I,
case then.
yeah, I did speak with the mayor about it, and he was going to advocate for it being included with a water bill. But it should
Absolutely.
also be blasted around town, because some people just throw those materials inside the bill away,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So-
and our builders in town and our real estate the real estate people they're the ones that see the most people go through their place buying new homes. Yeah.
I also,
Like we have-
Landscapers.
How many line items in the city, like 7,000, 8,000, something like that?
How many what?
How many line items in the city for a tax bill mailing?
Oh,
A lot,
yeah.
I think it's 7,000 or 8,000.
yeah.
So when we do the quote, let's just get it and see where it falls.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm guessing there are probably 300 or more in here, and this is about this full.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more than that.
Well, I just counted 20 and then did it.
I have a question about this ordinance.
I'd be happy to count it.
So, there are some invasive species growing in city-owned property
Oh, God, yes.
that is
Yes.
spilling over into the neighbors'
Yes.
yards.
Ivy.
It's really noticeable,
Yes.
particularly on Lafayette and Madison.
Yes. What?
What can we do about that? Because
Well, that's a good question. I mean, everybody was aware of this when we passed this ordinance in council. The subject came up, and, I mean, it's a simple matter of fact that the city's going to have to comply with the ordinance, just like everybody else. So it's going to be, Public Works is going to have to get involved. And they're going to have to take care of the business.
I emailed them 9 months ago about it, and no response.
They might have said, well, wait, you're not next door, so you can't complain unless you're the next door neighbor.
Well, yeah, I have the same comment, is that I walk up and down the promenade, and I'm beginning to see patches of English ivy.
Yeah.
And if you go to
Really?
Cape May Point, and you go down, I guess, up the Bay Shore, there's some properties there that are completely city-owned properties that are completely inundated, completely covered with English ivy. So the point being is if we address it earlier, it would be easier to manage as,
Is Edie still the secretary for the Public Works?
No.
No?
Oh, yeah, she is. Edie is. She is. That's right. She's still there.
I mean, so maybe.
I thought
maybe
she was
it's
promoted.
I could call her and just to, well,
Nudge.
actually, the council ought to be on this at this point, because now if there's gonna be complaints, we're not the first one in line here.
Well, everybody's going to wait for the budget to get done and figure out, well, it's a budget item discussion because the city's going to have to spend money to take care of its responsibilities with its property. And so, yeah, it's time to talk about it.
All right, so the plan is then you're gonna finish up the brochure.
Yeah.
No,
One
never-
question I had about the brochure, and then we can move on. So the front image, I put that coneflower with the monarch. Would it make more sense to have an invasive species on the front?
No, I don't think, I was just looking at the West Cape May one, and I think it's a mistake to have an invasive species on the front. I think you should have a good guy on the front.
Right, because you're like celebrating the.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Great.
The first thing they should see is something that's really good to plant, and that is one of the best ones you could do.
Okay.
And then let's get a quote from that printing company, say up to 7,500, okay?
Okay.
And we'll
Okay.
just see what happens, see how lower it gets after that.
Okay.
But you should also, you see how they have invasive and then they name the plant
Yeah.
down here? So on the cover, should we do that saying non-invasive or native or
Oh,
pointing that out pretty
yeah, that's a good idea.
That's
firmly?
a good idea.
Where it is the coneflower.
Yeah,
It's
the-
coneflower.
Okay.
think that-
I'm not going to put the taxonomic names anywhere.
No.
That's fine.
Because
No.
people don't remember
Yeah.
them. But you're right,
Yeah, I
on the
think that's a good
front.
idea.
Okay. Cover.
Any updates on the dune planning? I don't remember where that stood.
Dune planning.
I didn't know anything about that, but I recall the last time we did this was a couple of years ago, and Judy organized the garden club, and we were out there on some freezing cold day. So if nobody has started organizing it, I'd be happy to do that with the garden club. Preferably not on a freezing cold day, but,
like today.
like today. Oh, yeah, that'd be a really
That'd
good
be
day to
beautiful.
be on the beach planting things in wet sand.
All right, why don't you just go ahead and and see if they're interested in helping us do that.
Okay, do we have a date? Is there any information on it at all?
We have no idea, whatever's convenient, warmer dates.
Okay. And do we get the plants? I don't know how it worked, I just showed up, because Judy says, show up, you do that. Who secures the plantings? Does the city do
Have they done it
that?
before?
Well-
Have they done it before?
Why don't
I can
we-
talk to Judy and find out how they did it.
That's correct.
Why don't we also submit a grant application for that?
Yeah.
We can submit multiple applications, and this requirement says commission members and local volunteers must provide and track a minimum of 80 hours of labor toward the project. So a dune planting,
Oh, trust me.
call it 30 people, a few hours each, we would probably hit the 80
Let me
hours.
find out what Judy did.
And I would see,
then-
and I would see what plants they planted,
Yeah, well, it was just dune grass. It was at the
Whatever
foot
it
of
was.
Jackson Street.
and the date they did it, and how many people they had, so we could put that in our application.
Okay.
Hope, do you want to maybe head off a subcommittee for the grant application for the dune planting day?
Sure,
Yeah?
yeah. Let
Okay,
me
and
find out.
I'll try and
preliminaries from
do it.
Judy, and then I'll talk to you, and we'll do that.
Okay, I'll try and do it for the brochure, and
Okay.
you
I
can,
think a lot of that stuff will dovetail, too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Some of the same stuff that you're going to put in yours is going to go into yours.
gonna go, okay. I'll talk to her, and then I'll talk to you.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's good. All right, Charlotte, you're up. You want to talk about AMJAC? Yeah?
Sure. I had a letter from Anjac. I don't know if all of them ever did, but this came from Jennifer Colsey, our executive director. And it was in terms of reducing plastic pollution so that the whales that have been, the carcasses that have been washing up offshore seems a most unusual event. But what ANJAC is saying is that most of the deaths have to do with collision and shipping vessels and entanglement with fishing gear and plastic pollution. And certainly, when we think about the cruise ships, there are thousands of cruise ships, and evidently they're not monitored for getting rid of the human waste once you're on the boat. Anyway, ANJAC continues to go on to talk about the Packaging Reduction Act, and it also says that they are indeed in support of responsible offshore wind, and that the science tells us that the geotechnology and the ocean floor mapping being conducted by wind companies does not harm marine mammals. And, they have all kinds of research cited here. So I wanted to bring that to the attention of the group, if you haven't already heard about it.
Charlotte, have they,
Charlotte, go ahead. Chris wants to make a comment. Go ahead.
have they published any of the, lack of a better term, necropsy of these mammals that have,
No.
any causative factors for the mortality?
Wait, one more time. Chris, what would you want to say?
Have they published any of the mortality, what they found during examination of the animals?
When they, his
Plastic,
question was,
yeah, they
when they retrieved the animals, did they find anything about anything possibly within the animals themselves, of maybe what they ate or whatever?
Plastic.
Anything like that?
Well, this article doesn't state that, but there certainly are others that can be looked at.
Okay.
I suppose you can talk to the Marine Mammal Stranding Center. They are really on top of it.
Okay.
I'll give Bob a call and ask him what his take is and see if, because they're the ones that normally they're involved with the necropsy.
The Angex stance is that it's plastic.
Plastics.
Ingestion of plastics mostly through krill, not through the water itself, but through food consumption and collision with vessels.
Marine stripes.
On March 20th, the Cape May County Democratic Committee is hosting a panel of experts to discuss wind power. It's a Zoom open to everyone. It's at 7 p.m. It's the county level. So they might be able to shed some light on this as well.
I don't,
I saw something.
does everybody know the city took a position
No.
on this and passed a resolution stating that, like many other of the shore towns up and down the New Jersey coast, we've taken the position that we want to see the development stopped until it can be ensured that the development is not, in fact, to blame for all of the mammals that are being killed. So, again, it was a, pretty much of a reproduction of what all the other towns have done as well. So, just so everybody knows that, we do have,
Sounds reasonable.
yeah.
There's also a lot, as there often is on Facebook, a lot of this fake information. I just saw something yesterday, a picture of a whale carcass. Thank the wind turbines for this. So, you got to be careful about where you're getting this stuff from.
That's right, right.
Just in the letter that was sent, I don't know if you got this, there was a couple of links. There was like 3 different links to videos.
Yeah.
And one of them was about climate change. They're actually very good to look at. And the second one I got through was about the bird mortality. And the problem was that they were doing all this kind of research and stuff like that, but they couldn't really figure out why the birds were dying, to be honest with you, or how many, let me put it this way, that how much of a bird mortality, or how much the wind power was actually causing bird mortality. That was probably more, the birds fly around it differently, they change their patterns, things like that are happening with the birds. How many bird strikes there actually are from a wind turbine, there was really no data, and they were saying that it was probably extremely small, if at all.
You can't,
But it's hard to.
you
try to
can't figure
research
this.
it.
It's like the honeybee
Yeah, you can't
thing.
figure
You
it.
can't, it took them 20 years to figure out.
I think I read where Van Drew's going to have some hearings within the next month, federal hearings, locally. So, which would be nice, on a whole range of articles. So that'd be nice. Just keep your eyes open for that.
Justine, what was
Years
the date of that?
It's on March 20th. I'll send you the information.
What'd you think?
Yep. I'll just send it to the whole committee.
I didn't mean date, I meant time, but that's fine. Just send me everything.
Okay.
Just send me everything.
It's usually 7.
Anybody else have any comments? Any good of the order? Charlotte, you want to say anything?
That, New Jersey Audubon has come out in support of wind, the wind project, and the Sierra Club as well. So there are some environmental groups with standing that have supported it at this point.
Okay.
You're right, there are probably 500 in these, and I repeat, I'm not taking them home.
All right, motion to adjourn?
Well, one thing.
Go ahead, hold on, one second. Chris, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Justine, I don't want to plaster my name on this brochure, but if I can act as an advisory capacity to the Bureau,
I
Cape
would-
May Enforcement,
Love that.
yeah. So I don't want to, say, call Chris Hyduk if, you have a piece of ivy in your yard, no. But if code enforcement would like to call me and talk to me, I would be more than willing
Okay.
with, properties. I will go out and look and take a peek and stuff.
That's great.
I think we're all going to want to do that, too.
And then for a name for recommendations of native plants,
Oh, for nurseries?
well, I'm going to add that in, but in the center back panel, the native plant recommendations, yeah,
It's
that
not on
one.
there, but she'd like to add that.
Oh, no, on
Okay.
our draft.
Oh,
On
okay.
here,
Our
on
draft.
Yeah, at the bottom, I think it would be nice to include the contact information of someone that people can call for advice. Like, they want to learn more. Call Chris Hyduk call this
Obviously,
person.
Gretchen is a logical one, but
Gretchen,
I don't think we need to dump anything more on Gretchen.
No.
That's why
There are several people who can do that.
It-
I can come up with some names. There's a
Okay.
couple people in the garden club, too.
Okay.
Well, and it would be nice, and I don't think, I keep going back to the Master Gardeners of,
And master gardeners, yeah.
the Master Gardeners are a great source of information. It's all college-based, Rutgers, I think, is there, but I don't think that we really have a strong Master Gardener program in Cape May County as of yet.
No,
They're
we
starting to build it up. Otherwise,
Yeah.
that would be a great reference to reference it to their hotline and.
Yeah, I don't,
Well, you
Yeah.
can get them through the state. You're right, the
Yeah.
master gardener thing, I know they were building it back up again.
Right.
But they have a state organization. You can
That would
find it through
probably do
them,
it,
yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, would you rather be a phone number or an email?
Oh, don't take a phone number.
oh, jeez.
I hate this.
Well,
He wants to get phone calls about this all.
Yeah.
Unless his name and his.
Well, why I say that is I don't check my emails anymore. Phone would be fine.
phone's fine,
Okay.
okay.
Very good.
All right, cool.
Okay,
Mike Jones?
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
sure.
In that Merrill left the meeting, had to leave the meeting, did somebody continue with the minutes?
Yes, we did.
Oh, thank you.
And Charlotte, it's Kim. I'm the one doing the minutes. I might need your help.
Okay.
All righty, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Red buttons.
Okay, red buttons.
No, we need to, right? We did?
Oh, I thought Mike,
Lafayette Street, right? I mean, that was a big, huge site, and now that's. Yeah.
Those sites